Raise your hand if you have ever gotten to the end of the day and said, I know I worked, but what in the heck did I get done? And then your next thought is, how in the world do I get more done every day? This is getting really annoying. Raise your hand. I've totally been there, raising both of mine. But today I'm going to tell you how to get more done every single day so you can actually hit your goals, actually go after your dreams, and do the things that you were put on this earth to do. Let's go. Hey, howdy, hey! It is an amazing day to go all in on your dreams. If you're like, yes, girl, then hit a thumbs up below because, y'all, we need to be going all in. We're here for it, right? Here's what's up. Like I said in the intro, it's so easy for us to kind of get in the run of the mill of the day, get into the rhythm that we didn't even create, and get to the end of the day and be like, what in the actual, you know what, did I get done today? Like, how did all of that stuff not get done that I had on my to-do list? And so then the next natural question is, but like, how do I actually do that? How do I get more done? How do I, plan out my days in a way where I know for a fact when I get to the end of the day, I have checked some things off the to-do list. I'm gonna tell you, because I've gotten very good at this. Back in the day when I was just really getting started, especially in the business that I have now where I teach and do the things and am very present in the online world, I only had two child-free days a week, and they were only 2 half days. So basically my oldest son was going to school full time, but I still had my littlest son at home, and my dad would take him for 2 half days a week during that time. And so I got really good at utilizing that time and getting more done in that time than most people could get done in an entire day or even a couple of days. So I can promise you that I have got the goods. Let's go. So today, I'm bringing you 5 ways. 5 ways how to get more done every single day so you can actually make progress towards them big dreams. Number 1, and probably, I don't know, they're all important, but very important on the list, is to plan out your day and your weeks. If you just kind of go into the week thinking, well, it's another work week, hello, it's Monday, then it's not going to be something where you can control everything that goes on. Whereas if you sit down on Sunday or Saturday or even the Friday night before that week and you say, okay, here's what I got done last week. Here are the things I need to get done to really drive me towards these things I'm working on. And here are the days I'm going to do these things. So here's the way I like to do this. I've said here like 100 times, but y'all, you're just going to have to bear with me. Okay. What I do is I will sit down sometimes even on Monday morning, like really early in the morning, because I didn't have time or I didn't want to spend some time on Sunday. It's okay if you don't do it on Sunday night. Everybody says like, do it Sunday night. You know what I'm doing on Sunday night? I'm watching football and I'm sleeping. So sometimes I do it Monday morning and that's fine. But I will sit down and I will say, okay, I know that this day, and this day, I have these open blocks of time. Now, here are all the to-do lists or all the things on the to-do list that I have to do. Let me take those things and put them on my calendar where they need to go. Now, I'm going to get further into like how I decide that here in a minute, but by planning it out, I'm not restricting when they have to be done. I don't like that. I'm not a big fan of saying like, from 7 to 9, I am going to do this. And from 1 to 1:24, I'm going to do that. It feels very restrictive to me. But if I have kind of a general idea of what block of time I'm doing what things in, I am much, much more likely to actually get them done. So plan out your days, plan out your weeks, and your to-do list will magically get done, I promise. All right, second thing, know what you are working towards. I can't count the amount of times I personally have just been doing the things and not really known what that means or why I'm doing it. And so if you can get, whether that's like by journaling or meditating or really planning out or talking to your coach or like whatever you need to do, if you can get really clear on what you're working towards, you're going to get really clear on what actually needs to get done. The way I like to do this is, okay, if this is the big thing I'm working towards, let me break that down into actionable steps and let me break that down over a period of time so that I know the reason I'm doing those things are working towards a goal. So even things like being on a podcast, being someone's guest on a podcast, doing these YouTube videos, blogging, whatever that looks like, I know that they're all working towards a certain goal. And so that it doesn't feel like I'm just kind of doing nothing. It actually feels like I'm making progress towards that goal. So if you know what you're working towards and you know what the tasks you're doing are actually helping you do in the long run, it's going to be a lot easier to get things done because it doesn't feel like it's just random things that you're supposed to be doing, right? And a lot of times I don't do the things that I'm supposed to be doing because they don't actually get me to my goals. And that's okay. Like, totally fine. So number 2, know what you're actually working towards because it's going to make it a lot easier when you do the things and you make a to-do list to get it done because you know what the end result is. Let me just interject here too. If you take this as like a weight loss example, right? You know that the end result is that you want to lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, whatever pounds. You know that that's the end result. So when you are exercising one day, it doesn't feel like it's just for no reason. It's literally for you to help hit your goals. So hopefully that's a really good example and can help you kind of understand what I mean there. Number 3, and it is very important, turn off your distractions. I have no notifications on my phone. I don't know when someone DMs me on Instagram. I don't know when they heart a post. I don't know when someone comments on YouTube. I don't know when someone sends me an email. I don't know any of those things because it's all off. And the reason it's off is because I know how my brain works and I'm certain it's not very far from how yours does. I'll be in the middle of a task and I'll be like working away and it's a task that I know I need to be working on and an email will pop up and I'll be like, oh, I should go answer that. And then I have context switched and I have gotten distracted and now I ain't getting nothing done but answering that email. So remove the distractions. Now that's just one example, removing the notifications on your phone and on your computer, but you can also make sure that you're working in a quiet environment. Get some noise canceling headphones. Remove things that you know are going to distract you specifically. So one of the things that I know is that if I go on Facebook, I'm going to get distracted. I'm one of those like newsfeed grazers, if you will. And so if I go on there, I know that I'm going to get distracted by my friend's new cute baby or whatever is showing up there. So I have a plugin on Chrome called Newsfeed Eradicator. I've talked about it before on here. And it's always on my desktop and on my laptop, it's always on. So I can't just go to Facebook and mindlessly scroll. Now, it still drives me bananas. I will still open up Facebook to mindlessly scroll and not really even realize it. And then that's on there and I'm like, I wanted to waste time. But I guess I'm not today. So remove distractions. And sometimes it's uncomfortable. And sometimes there are things that we don't even realize are distractions. But try and remove them as best as possible. You're not getting near as much done in 3 hours with your kids running around at your feet as you would be if you could go an hour to a coffee shop while a mother's helper came in and helped you with your kids or while they're asleep or whatever. So remove those distractions as much as you possibly can, and I promise you'll see a massive, massive uptick in the amount of stuff you can get done every day. Okay, number 4. And this is one you've heard me say before. This is also one I personally struggle with, but I make myself do as much as I possibly can. And this is also one you've probably heard 100,000 other people tell you. And it's because it really is kind of true. And that is to wake up early. So I can get so much more done on the days I wake up early. And it's not even that I'm using that time towards work necessarily. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. It kind of just depends on the day. Sometimes I use that time to work out or plan things out for my children or pack book bags or whatever. But my brain is just so much more productive when I have woken up early and given myself plenty of time to wake up before I just jump into the tasks of the day. Now, a lot of times I do use it for work though. So if I look at my calendar, especially if I look at my calendar and I see that, it's just a very crazy day, but I also need to get some things done. So this is kind of where it bumps into the whole working in your business and not on your business, or working in your job, whatever that looks like for you. But I will look at my day and I'll be like, oh man, I'm really busy today. But I also would really like to write that blog post or write the first page of my novel or like whatever. I'm going to use that time that I woke up early to get more done, like literally. So if you will wake up a little earlier, go to bed a little earlier, I can promise you that you will get more done in your day. And it will actually probably surprise you, because I know every single time I don't even use that time to get things done as far as work goes, I'm so surprised and amazed by how much more productive I am throughout the rest of the day and how much better I feel and more energy I have. And the fifth thing, and this is where I said earlier in number 1 that I would hit on this a little more, is to batch your time and your tasks. I have a whole video about batching time and calendar blocking and all the things, but I promise, just try it out for a little bit, because I can promise you it will be life-changing. I was actually just talking to someone a couple weeks ago, and I was telling them that I think that this was the biggest thing I did in my life and in my business to propel my success forward. I feel like being intentional with my time and blocking my time and doing things together that don't kind of take away from each other were the real reason that I actually started seeing growth in my business. So let me tell you just kind of the Cliff Notes version of what this looks like. Again, I have videos on that. I'll link them above. But essentially what I do is I do have client calls. So I will have client calls. I will have podcast interviews. I will have, things where I need to get on the phone with somebody for whatever reason. And I only take those calls on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I try to fit them all on Tuesdays because it's just easier for me to do it all in one day. And I know the rest of the days of the week are pretty free for me to put in the other tasks that need to get done. So I try and batch everything Tuesdays and Thursdays as far as calls go, because for me, even as an extrovert, doing a bunch of calls back and forth is like so draining. And so if I say like, okay, I have one call at 9 a.m. and then I have another call at 12 p.m. So that gives me 2 hours in between. I'm going to get X, Y, and Z done. I never get the X, Y, and Z done. Like my brain is not able to kind of switch between call modes, and I'm not able to actually get those things done I thought I was. So I batch it all in one day as much as I can, and sometimes overflow to a second day. But then on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, that means my days are open. And now I don't mean open to where like I sit on Netflix and like watch Netflix all day or whatever. I mean that they are open for me to look at my calendar and look at my week, like I said in tip number 1, and say, okay, because I'm working towards this bigger goal, I know that these steps are going to get me there. I know that the first thing I need to do is this, and that is broken down into these steps, and here I'm going to spread that across the week, or here I'm going to spread this other task across the week. So I will take like tasks and I will bulk them together. So if I need to write a couple of blog posts, but then I also need to write an email for my weekly email, or I need to write a proposal of some sort, I'm going to batch all of those things together because it's all writing and it's all kind of using the same piece of the brain. Then if I need to podcast, like batch record, I'm going to batch all of those together. I'm not going to put like record one podcast, do some things, record another podcast, do some things. I'm going to try and record all the podcasts I can back to back. Same with videos. So just know that you can and should be time batching and blocking off your calendar in a way that makes everything fit perfectly in the time that you have, and it will get much easier to get everything done in the day. Okay, so if you learned anything today, or if you have any other get more done tips, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. And if you're new here and you're ready to take control of your life and go all in on the stuff you're dreaming about, hit subscribe, because that is what your girl is here for. And until next time, bye y'all.